Perfect Layers comes with a really beautiful library of textures, backgrounds, and borders. To find them, just click on the Extras tab on the top left of the file browser. You can see that the three folders here are backgrounds, borders, and textures. Now I'm going to use a combination of all three to spice up this image and lay it out. The first thing I want to do is apply a texture. So I'm going to go to the Textures category and then click on Photographic. Now I'm going to click on the second texture, Ground Glass, and then click Add. To easily stretch this texture to the entire layer size, just go to the Transform tool and then go to the right and click on Fill. When you're done, click Apply. And now it's time to blend. I'm going to use the drop-down blending mode here and hover over Multiply. Now you can see that the texture is kind of covering Tressa's face. So I'm going to go to the masking brush and then just paint it off. I really don't care about the rest of the scene, but I want the texture off of her face, and I'll draw some of it off of her hair as well. Okay, now that we're done here, I'm going to close the Textures category and go to Borders. From here, I'm going to open up the Sloppy Borders subcategory and scroll down to number 6. I'll double click, and just like before, I'll click Add. Now really the only thing I care about here is that black border. The white border is irrelevant to me, and I'll show you why. I'm going to go back to the blending options here and go to Darken. You can see how only the darker pixels come through, so now I have that really nice pinstripe. And now it's time to position both the border and the texture. So I'm going to go back to my Transform tool. I'm going to zoom out just a bit, and I'm going to start stretching this sloppy border just so it's positioned where I want it. Right around there. Now I'm going to click Apply to commit that. You can see that that sloppy border is getting kind of close to the texture frame. So I'm going to go back to that texture frame and I'm going to stretch that out too. I have an excess of black border over here, so I have some room to play. I'm going to stretch them out so that there's a bit more distance, and you can see that now it's looking like we have this really cool frame within a frame. All right, now I want to lay this out, which means that I want to put a background behind this image. To do that, I'm first going to select all of these three layers and click Merge to combine them. Now I'm going to go to the Edit menu, and at the very bottom there's an option called Adjust Canvas Size. With Adjust Canvas Size open, I'm going to change the units from pixels to inches, and I'm going to give myself a nice large amount. I'm going to set this to 100 inches. Because I have the Lock Proportions checkmark selected, it automatically adjusts the height. And I'll click Apply. And so you can see we now essentially took the canvas and made it larger, so we have more room to play. Now I'm going to go ahead, scroll up, and I'm going to close the Borders category and open up the Backgrounds category. Under Studio Backdrops, there's a beautiful one towards the bottom here, a really nice brocade pattern called Backdrop 10. I'm going to double click it and then click Add. Now, back to the Transform tool. I'm going to rotate it once so that it's now horizontal, and I'm going to click Fill. When I'm done, I'll click Apply, and I'm going to put the image on top of the border. Now with the Transform tool, you can see that I can reposition it and I can rotate it accordingly. And if I want it to be a bit smaller, I can press and hold the Shift key while dragging from the corner to make it smaller. When I'm done, I'll click Apply. Now I've used a background, a border, and a texture to take an image and really jazz it up. All within Perfect Layers, part of Perfect Photo Suite 7.